freedom.
Fake carrots. Fake fruit. Fake. Fake grapefruits. Fake. Liar! You liar!
Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is Tuesday, and it's a gruesome twosomes Tuesday. Look out, folks. We've got all kinds of crap from aliens to fruits to fires to mayhem over in Ukraine. We've got it all here, folks. We're going to talk about it because you need to be prepared. That's what the thepreparedmind.club is for. That's our website, thepreparedmind.club. You can go there for information. You can go there to buy what you need to get prepared. And boy, more than ever, I hope you understand exactly where we're at. Now, since you're here, you do know what's needed. You do know where we're at. You do know where this is going, and you are prepared. But we need to help others. So on YouTube, that's the free address, right, that you can share with others to wake them up. Now, of course, we want everyone to come over to subscribestar.com or the preparedmind.club. Sign up for our premium service, $2. $2, Lane Myers, $2 to sign up. That was a little Better Off Dead reference. But $2 from everyone would go a long way in getting us supported and protected from the left. See, we used to be exposed to the left, folks. And then they punished the shit out of us, the way they punished many, many sites. But our mission here is real. It's real. And so we come back even though, folks, they want to destroy us. And they keep trying every chance they get. And we keep coming back. And you are making the crowd here a huge foundation that's strong. We are a strong network that is now communicating. And I love that, folks. Now, all that said, let's get into it. Get your questions down below. I'm going to do a 30-minute monologue. And then you guys have your chance. Hey, if you're on subscribestar.com or the preparedmind.club, you can join us live Monday through Friday, with the exception of special days, but Mondays through Fridays for free. And then it gets released later to YouTube for public dissemination. But you guys get to be here to talk about what matters to you. You're supporting the channel. And I want you to know it's important, it's appreciated, and it is needed. Completely needed. So let's start right off. I mean, let's just go with aliens and just get it away, get it off the board. A decorated combat veteran is out there, and he is a UFO whistleblower, and he is telling us, the people, that the United States government has non-human origin aircraft. And he says, we're definitely not alone. Folks, disclosure is coming, and it's the next great distraction. The fruitcakes are going to blow their wad in every possible manner possible. Yes, because they're a bunch of sick freaks. But the next great distraction is going to just put them back in the closet. Who cares? Get away, a bunch of fruitcakes. They're going to want to have this one front and center to convince the world to obey world government, to obey their leaders, because only their leaders can make everything all right. It is coming, folks. Just a little warning. One more. You better be prepared because it is coming. Now, I want to go to the next one. Big Brother. Big Brother. 3 in 10, folks. That is 30% of young Americans and folks, Democrats, they support government cameras installed in American homes. Survey says absolute tyranny. Yes. Now, remember, these are young Americans, and the people they polled are mostly Democrats. Basically, they're all fucking Democrats. But this is how close we are to revolution. Now, the book 1984, George Orwell's masterpiece describing the despotism and filthy corruption of government, covered this really well, and in his book had in-home monitoring of people's actions. They can suck it if they think that that's going to be allowed. Now, a lot of people are inviting it into their homes with Amazon's Alexa, by having every security device known to man and smart device. They're going to try it, folks. They're going to say, well, if you want our service and you want it free, then you have to allow us. And for the most part, they are listening through our phones. I'm continuing to play the game of talking about certain subjects and then looking to see how long it takes for advertisement to show up as pop-ups and on screen. We're getting closer to revolution direct, folks, direct. Funny how we've got the radical left-wing takeover, we've got the war, we've got aliens, we've got people in our own country trying to destroy it. We're getting hit, you and I, from every single side. It is incredible, folks. They are leaving no stone unturned in their efforts to come after you and I. That's their gig, folks. That's what they want. This is the win. This is for everything. So let's take a look. What is going on in Ukraine? Now, for the most part, nobody cares, right? We're done with Ukraine. Just done with it. People are tired of the bullshit. I know I am. Tired of the bullshit. Let me get this up on the screen. There we go. There we go. There it is. The internet, just a marvel of modern technology. Okay. Ukraine, the military there is now accusing Russia of blowing up a hydroelectric dam. Didn't Ukraine, followed by the mainstream idiot media, accuse Russia of trying to blow up a nuclear power plant, right? That they occupied, that they had their own soldiers and their own people around? Yeah, Ukraine military. I mean, again, I'm not a Russia lover. I just don't like being lied to. And I don't trust a bunch of, well, socialists and neo-Nazi Ukrainians. I just don't. Not when they're demanding us, the country anyways, pay money to them and give them military aid and give them military training and military equipment. When they're demanding that of us, I don't trust them because they'll tell any lie. They'll say anything. And they have, and they will continue, period. Russia has not been attacking civilians and civilian infrastructure. They have been attacking Ukraine government operations and military equipment and military forces. If they were not doing that, we would hear it endlessly. Just as this story is, the Ukraine military is now saying Russia blew up a hydroelectric power station. You know, Russia just turns around and says, hey, it's the Ukraine army. Yeah, the power plant in question, by the way, it's a dam and hydroelectric power station, Nova Kakhovka. You would think they would come up with names that roll off the tongue just a little bit smoother. Yeah, and they made this announcement where? On Facebook, because that's where every military should be communicating with the world, right? Ukraine was shelling a nuclear power plant, folks, with the effort to stop it or blow it up and cause a nuclear disaster. Do you believe for a second that they would bat an eye at blowing up a dam and then trying to blame it on Russia? False flag, out the gate, scale 10. Now, Zelensky accused Russian terrorists of destroying the dam. Who is it that has been attacking civilian targets? Let's start with Ukraine blowing up a civilian bridge and killing people down by Sevastopol, Crimea. They've blown up and gone after people in, what is it, Belgorod? No, wait. That was another place. I think it is Belgorod. Right? They have attacked people all through eastern former Ukraine. They've gone after civilians left and right and said, well, there's soldiers amongst them, so that gives us a right? We don't know who the Russian fighters are and not. Now, this is interesting. This is coming from Zelensky. The destruction of the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant dam only confirms for the whole world that they must be expelled from every corner of Ukrainian land. Not a single meter should be left to them because they use every meter for terror. Isn't that interesting? We say every square inch, they say every meter. Anyways. And he says the terrorists will not be able to stop Ukraine with water, missiles, or anything else. It would seem to me that the Russians are stopping the Ukrainians and beating the shit out of them and killing them with missiles and bullets and bombs and smart bombs and missiles. You know, it's hyperbolous bullshit is just off the hook coming out of this idiot's mouth. Okay, now I'm going to really go after the people on the left, folks. But I want to start with this, right? I need you to know that there are 6 videos. Before I get to the fruitcakes, there's 6 videos that show Capitol Police letting Trump supporters into the Capitol, opening up locked doors, moving barricades aside so people can enter. I've asked Jolene to post the link for everybody, including YouTube. It is a Gateway Pundit article. And essentially, folks, it shows that the entire claim made by the government that this was insurrection is a fantastic, although evil, lie. It has been perpetrated. These 6 videos, folks, just make it very easy to see what is going on. And I don't know why they haven't been released en masse. Right? Someone has compiled the best 6. Maybe they figure that 6 is enough, that 6 is all people have the stomach for. That's all they have the time for. You know, here we've had so much trouble with everything they've got. All right. Let's go to it. There is, and I want to thank Orlando and many others for sending me this article and ones like it. There is a claim that there is a national state of emergency. And this comes from a human rights organization because LGBTQ, IA+, all of these people are claiming that people, these fruit salad folks, they're claiming that they have to flee their homes, that they're fleeing their homes because of homophobia. Homophobia is causing them to flee their homes. I am going to do this. I'm going to call bullshit. And I think the following is a legitimate, though sarcastic and satirical criticism. It is not harassment. The fruit salad gang, folks, are the idiots who have called attention to themselves, not us. We didn't call attention to them. They want to come out and call attention to themselves. Over the last 30 years, they have become louder, more demanding, bigger whiners and crybabies, and have more and more and more aggressively demanded acceptance. Unlike any other group has ever demanded acceptance. The fruit salad geeks are like petulant children, making every demand they can, and then throwing absolute tantrums when they aren't satisfied immediately. They are far worse than the extreme feminists. They're far worse than the extreme environmentalists because of the damage they've caused to this country. and their need to recruit everyone they can. Their need for attention and acceptance has become so grossly exaggerated that to deny them earns a scolding of us and name calling, though no illegality is issued from us. So instead, because there's nothing illegal being done, they want laws written to allow any complaint by them that they have to be labeled as a hate crime. So they're inventing crime. And at the very least, if they can't get this, they're demanding obedience from us, lest they have a person fired for objecting to their displays and their agenda and their demands of acceptance of their perversions. Every complaint is so bad that they now threaten a response of violence or commit an act of violence, including brandishing weapons while making threatening gestures and saying they'll do great bodily harm and even death to others. And ultimately, folks, they do commit acts of violence, including assaults and murder at children's schools and stabbing to death of their victims, who include family members as well as their other partners. And along with all the lies in the media, all the police, they hide this. The police and the media hide it all from the public. Now, if anyone is driving them out of their homes, it's them. They're driving themselves out of this childish hysteria because nothing ever satisfies them. And like children, they need discipline and to be told, no, you don't get your way. Just because you made a demand, you don't get your way. That's what spoiled children do. And that's what these people are. Folks, this fruit salad crap, this Pride Month, it is going to be the crescendo of bullshit from these people. Oh, they're not going to go away afterwards, but this is going to be the pinnacle, the zenith, the high point in their screaming and yelling as we, you and I, Americans, decent, moral people, are going to start shouting back even louder. They are 1% of the population or less, supported by a high percentage of idiot Democrats. But this is not a democracy. They have rights, but they don't get control just because they want to scream. Right? They're contributing, folks, to the coming mass violence and chaos that'll be in the streets during all the other SHTF turmoil and destruction that's coming. And I call bullshit. I really do. I call bullshit on this. We're causing them to have to flee their homes. What a crock of shit. Expect more. Now, Target, who's come under fire and lost billions of dollars in valuation. They have woke company activities that they're asking employees to participate in. This came out of a Target email, an internal email that has been done. It's a whistleblower expose. Target is doing more than just selling Pride merchandise and trash and trying to trick children into accepting it. They're promoting and pushing queer and anal propaganda on all employees. Target says anything is safe to talk about, and they have queer bingo and other queer games and other queer social activities, promoting the perverse lifestyles of gays and not allowing anyone to complain. Folks, when I was Corporate John, anything, and I mean anything that anyone else considered sexual at any level could be considered sexual harassment, even if you didn't intend it, and even if by your moral standards it wasn't. Period. All it takes is someone having to complain about you, and your behavior had to stop and change to conform to the person who was offended. And that included, folks, many times I spoke to attractive women. And because I am perceived to look a certain way, me talking to an attractive woman, because they never complained when I talked to average women, normal women, older women, women out of my league, whatever, married women, no, none of that mattered. It's only when I talked to attractive women that they thought that something sexy was going on, and they would actually go and file fucking complaints. And I would have to apologize to them and say, I apologize if you thought there was something sexual going on, which there wasn't, but I apologize, yada, 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 yada. Go, what I wanted to say was go fuck yourself, right? I'm not doing anything wrong by talking to an attractive woman, but you can't do that. Now, folks, sodomite, anal sex, trans grooming is all supposed to be fine. Now there's no sexual harassment complaints that can be filed. Folks, lawsuits need to be filed immediately. Lawsuits and lawfare against all of this, right? And where are the good, decent lawyers out there? Well, let me give you a taste. It is coming, folks. The kaboom against these idiots is coming. Shareholder, which is a organization, is teaming up with America First Legal, and they're demanding that Target produce books and records on their LGBT crap agenda and the $12 billion valuation loss. Once again, folks, they have a responsibility to the shareholders because they're publicly traded. That's part of the Securities and Exchange Commission. You have to make decisions that benefit shareholders, right? And they have not benefited. Budweiser's in the same trouble as well as other companies, and they should be. Lawfare to fight the fruit salad people. It needs to happen. Billions of dollars are being lost by these companies because they want their perversion to be the priority. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, now, but understand the federal government is completely lost. Absolutely. They're 180 degrees, complete opposite direction of intelligent and making the right moves. They are that stupid. You want an example? Well, first of all, you need to understand they think you are that stupid. Karine Jean-Pierre, White House spokesmouth extraordinaire, says this. Here's the quote. We have seen legal migration go down significantly. We have seen legal migration go down significantly. You can't say that without laughing. She said that Joe Biden's migration plan is brought down legal migration. You want to know why? This is how, first of all, it's written to make you think we have seen migration go down, right? Because they have increased, okay, legal migration was up here. Illegal migration is just blown past it. So people are like, why even sign up for legal migration? It goes down because everyone's doing illegal migration. They think you're that stupid that you're not going to see what they have to say. We have seen legal migration go down significantly. Of course, that's Joe Biden's plan. It's just, it's incredible. They just completely throw shit in your face. Throw shit in the face of everyone. And I've got more. Man, have I got more. Wow. And it's incredible. You are not going to believe what a former teammate of the man who used to be, I think, William Thomas, is now Leah Thomas, you know, the women's swimmer, the trans swimmer. Oh, yeah. The trans swimmer, folks. This guy is a piece of work. Everyone has portrayed him pretending to be a woman, to be the nicest guy, and he just wants to be a trans person. He just wants to have fun and be a girl. Well, there's some disturbing, sick fucking details coming out about the entire thing. Entire thing. Right? And it's being joined, folks, by many others who are sick of this crap. Sick of this trans crap. William Leah Thomas. Right? Look out. This teammate of his, this swimming teammate, her name is Paula Scannion. She decided to come out and show her face. We need to be as brave as her and stand up and start putting this shit down, folks. It's not harassing them until they leave home. It's telling them to shut the hell up. You don't get special privileges. I don't have to accept your lies. I don't have to call you by your pronouns. I can say what I want, when I want. This is America, jackass. We used to say this is America, Jack. Now it's this is America, jackass, right? Countless women have been robbed of their victories. Years and years of hard work robbed by Leah, the guy, Thomas. So Paul Iskanian comes out, right, and says that the Penn University, the administrators there waged a vicious, organized campaign of propaganda against not only the world, but also the teammates of this fruitcake. You know, the woman of the year. So Ms. Scanion said that they were so traumatized by Leah Thomas coming into the locker room. Traumatized, folks. Why? Because Thomas regularly showed off his genitalia, which was not labia, inner and outer. No, no, no. Thomas had a penis and testicles, and he would show it off. So the girls, in order to not be traumatized by a male wagging his dick at them, had to go to adjoining stalls to avoid seeing all this crap and being exposed to him, who wants to be a her. And then the school denied their complaints about how they were treated by him. Once again, sexual harassment. Now, as a guy in going to high school and as a Marine, you would see other penises in the showers, right? After gym, after working out, after whatever. But nobody, no guy ever looked at another guy and wagged his dick at somebody, right? And said, look at this. No, we did not do that shit. That's what this guy is doing to girls, has done. And no complaining. Now, she said also, this Paula Scanion, that a female swimmer was forced off the team to make room for Leah Thomas. The girl went in tears and complained. She was brought to tears because all of her hard work for years and years was destroyed because a boy wants to compete as a girl. And that apart from all that, folks, the school engaged in a form of psychological manipulation, which made the girls question their own judgment and the common sense they have. That is disturbing, folks, on many levels, because these are college women. So when someone, what do they call that? What do they call it? When someone keeps telling you a lie and telling you a lie and telling you a lie so that you question your own sanity, your own intelligence, your common sense, the very thing you see. That's called gaslighting, and it is psychological abuse. And they convinced college girls that Leah Thomas is really a girl, even though he has a penis that he wags at them. So I'm going to ask you this. If college girls are traumatized, if they are manipulated and tricked with repeatedly telling a lie, how do you think children are going to be able to avoid this and to block it out? That is the insanity that's happening in our schools, all the way down to kindergarten and even pre-kindergarten, where children are being bombarded daily with propaganda, manipulation, and gaslighting psychological techniques designed to convince them that what they know, what they see isn't true, and that it's what the teacher says that's true. These girls, folks, at the university with Leah Thomas were told that if they spoke to the media, they would regret it. That's a threat. There is something called retribution, and it's not allowed, not when it involves this kind of deviancy, sexual discrimination, sexual harassment. You are not allowed to punish people for reporting on it. They have committed a crime. They have committed several crimes. Riley Gaines has joined in on this and said, this is huge. Thank you. And they need to, folks, get this in the courts. You need to join. We all need to step up and continue fighting this nonsense. That's all we've got, folks. That's what we have got. You and I. You and I. These fruitcakes on the left, they're not going away. They're not. I mean, a girls' gymnastics photographer. Well, by the way, he hates Trump. He's extremely far leftist. He has been caught with over 500 images of child porn. More fruit salad coming your way. That's the left. Girls' sports, girls' gymnastics. They love all of this stuff, folks. They love, trust me, they love all the sexual nastiness they've been getting away with. They need to be caught. They need to be thrown in jail. Everything. Everything. Okay. It is the 30-minute mark, so let's do this. Let's get to your guys' stuff. We're going to do the inner circle right now. All right. Uman says we got a lot of questions in the hopper. So let's try not to waste any time. Let's get right to them. Uman, what do we have? We've got Nancy Kegg checking in. She says, I hope everyone is doing okay. It's just another hot, dry day here in northern Minnesota. Hot in June in Minnesota. Unbelievable that it's hot, dry this time of year. She says it started to see more gas pumps around here with bags on them, and the shelves are getting more holes again. I wonder why. I wonder what's going on up in Minnesota. What is happening, folks? I don't know. You know, we've talked about weather manipulation. The CIA is now admitting it. The government is admitting that. They're admitting there's aliens. They're admitting that they hate the Constitution. They're admitting they're willing to break the law. But, folks, what happens when people can't get gas? Anger and frustration. Now, in the snowstorms of extreme Northeast California, where I came from, and in the hot South during hurricane threats, we run out of gas. And people get frustrated, they get angry, they get short-tempered, they get ill-tempered when they can't get gas. Imagine how bad they'll be if they can't get food. Nancy, this is a great topic, one that we've talked about for years and years from the very beginning. The first concern is if things go haywire, they go wonky, they go south. When you're up north, look out. We're going to have trouble. The average household has 3 days of food. They don't know how to subsist. They don't know how to get along without it. Very much a dangerous scenario situation to be dealing with. Keep an eye on that if you will, Nancy. Keep us informed if it continues to get worse or if it just persists in this current weirdness, if you will. I think we'll just go with calling it that. Just your basic weirdness of the supply chain. Uman, let us move along. We've got, well, Uman has something to say. I guess that's the benefit of being the show moderator along with Jolene. He says, I got some pictures from Bioxo and C of the smoke in Pennsylvania and upstate New York today, and it's pretty bad. Bioxo says it smells like burning plastic. Once again, this report of burning plastic, and I hope you are running an air scrubber in the house. Not a bad idea. I hope that you keep gas masks, an NBC rated gas mask. At the preparedmind.club, we should have access to gas mask supplies. I recommend it. I've got my gas masks. Do you have yours? In case it gets really bad, but I do recommend air scrubbers. In fact, let's keep that back up there, Mr. Umana. There's a couple other points I'd like to get to that you've brought up by sharing that. This smell of burning plastic. The nose knows, right? We know when we smell something that's not natural. Now, breathing heavy forest fire smoke. At least you know it's organic. Plastic, on the other hand, is not. The smell of plastic comes off of a long chain hydrocarbon that's been ignited. Right? Plastics are a very long chain. Heavy asphalts, they have a plastic-like quality to it. I wonder what is happening. Do you think for a second, possibly, that where these fires are at, that they're being fueled by plastics being poured on the forests? Right now, tire fires are very similar. It's more of an acrid type smell that burns the nostrils in a different way. You've smelled burning tire when you've smelled burning tire. You know it. You'll never again forget that smell. And a tire, folks, the oils that are in rubber, when they start on fire, they do not want to go out. Tires actually melt into a goo, kind of like the La Brea tar pits. And it'll burn both continuously, incessantly, and for a long time, emitting huge chunks of partially burned long chain hydrocarbons. Oil. These are all oil products. Canada is famous for its oil fields, its oil sands, right? It is rich in oil, Canada is. Essentially, I think this is being contributed to, because it doesn't make sense that a forest fire smells like oil. Even if someone's house burned, if you're near a burning house, it has a nasty smell because of all the plastics and other, shall we say, synthetic products that are oil-based, right? Asphaltic shingles on the roof, plastics within the house, carpets, plumbing, devices, etc. But a forest fire should be 99.9% organic growth material. It shouldn't be 50-50. It shouldn't be smelling plastic everywhere. There's something going on here, and it needs to be exposed. We need a whistleblower, somebody who knows what the fuck is happening. And once the story is released, it'll go far, it'll go wide, and then it'll just disappear. Not only will they stop doing whatever it is the fuck they're doing, hopefully, they'll hide everything and move us on to the next emergency. But for now, this one is hot, heavy, and extremely nasty. Boo Man, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. And then we got Blue Cord Devil. Blue Cord Devil, I still have a slight tinge of a headache 2 days later. He says, in Ohio, smoke has been moderate to heavy. And all day, there's a fine ash on cars. Now, being from California, having grown up in, shall we say, northern central, up by the foothills in Sacramento area, and also way up north, I've had a lot of fires, starting in the 80s and going all the way into the 90s, and then the aughts, and then the teens. For 40 years, I've had to smell stinky ass fires. And ash, folks, can sometimes fall like snow onto automobiles, homes, and streets. It is, it's a sure sign that whatever is happening is putting massive amounts of particulate in the air. Now, let me ask you this. Who is it that wants particles in the air? Well, Bill Gates and George Soros and others who want to change the climate, protect us from global warming. So it would seem to me that those people like that, with that mentality, and the government, which has the same mentality, that loves to put chemicals in the atmosphere, aka chemtrails. A forest fire does what? It sends up smoke that reflects solar radiation and cools the earth. They actually probably get a kick out of it and enjoy the benefit, and they don't mind the destruction. They don't mind the destruction. Another thing that forest fires do, folks, is it puts an enormous amount of charged particles in the air. An enormous amount of charged particles in the air. Right? So you get lightning, you get all sorts of weather events and power that can be unleashed using their weather modification techniques. Interesting stuff. Thank you, Blue Core Devil. Please be safe, and I hope all is well at home, or as well as it can be. Nancy Cagg returns and says, had to do driving this morning to the VA clinic. That's the Veterans Administration Clinic. And you could see the smoke there in the air. I believe you. I really do. The big fire that burned in California, that was the last fire I had to witness. That burned, it was a new record. Apparently the fire on that one was started by a professor from college. Unbelievable, folks, how much damage was done by one idiot. Anyways, looking at a wall of mountains, the Sierra Nevada mountains, and watching this huge plume of smoke and ash come up and then blow over. It just had this feeling like Mordor, right? And again, that was that was Nancy Pance's nephew, Gavin Newsom, governor, who allowed that to happen. And I say, yeah, allowed it to happen. Oh, by the way, Gavin Newsom is threatening to take legal action against Governor DeSantis, claiming kidnapping. He's kidnapping people by putting them on planes, these migrant flights, and sending them elsewhere. Folks, Gavin's a turd, and he's a liar, and he's caused massive destruction in California. This is what our nation faces, enemies from within. Literally, enemies from within. I want you to be very careful and be prepared. I want you to watch your six. I want you to understand the left is willing to do everything they can to destroy this country. Let me give you another one. In New York City, Mayor Adams's New York City has vending machines. Are they selling Cokes, candy bars, chips? Remember when we had the last guy? What was his name? They've had a lot of idiots as mayor. We have de Blasio. Right? Anyways, they were like, no French fries, no king-size Cokes. Now they have vending machines, folks, that give away free, that's right, free crack pipes and free Narcan. I thought that being an accessory to crime or contributing to a crime or allowing people to commit crimes, right, that makes you an accessory. In other words, contributing to crime is a crime, and Mayor Adams in the city of New York City is doing just that by giving crack pipes and Narcan. They're facilitating and making criminal activity easier. That's contributing. That's being an accessory to. Just absolute idiots. Okay. Let's do this. Ooh, man. Let's take a quick peek. What do you got next? Well, looks like we have Charles Gentry. Charles Gentry. He says, I think the breaking down of the ozone layer is allowing UVC and more intense UVB wavelengths of light to hit the surface of the world in a long time. Would explain the rapid shifts from cold to hot, wet to burning. UVC is some bad juju. So UV is ultraviolet. There's ultraviolet A, ultraviolet B, and ultraviolet C. These are light waves along a wavelength that is not visible to us. UV rays. When you get a sunburn, it's damage to our skin and our cells, right? That is caused. It causes us to tan, which is to say, everyone gets darker, right? It's part of being a human. I don't tan that well, so I'm not a big friend of the melanin in the skin, which makes me an even bigger enemy of UV rays. And it's interesting, if you tune into weather.com or some other weather app, you can get the UV rating in your area on a given day. Now, where I want to caution everybody is 20 years ago, they would show temperatures on TV. And it would be, green, blue, green, yellow, different colors. But over the last 30 years, they have gradually always made the colors for temperatures more yellow, more orange, and more red, but it's the same temperatures. The same temperatures. So what is going on? Well, I'm sure that the manipulation of the weather by the government's a big part of it. Perhaps all these chemicals they're putting up in the clouds are causing some other issues. Now, what I can tell you is, having lived in the desert, the high desert, and around the high desert in Northern California, it was interesting. You could literally drive 1 mile and see a completely different weather system develop. My property I had there, the ranch, the Sierra Nevada stopped. All of the trees just stopped instantly. Trees coming down the mountain, trees, and they just stopped. And then there was no trees for hundreds of miles all the way to the Rocky Mountains. No trees. And where the trees were, you would get a foot of snow in a snowstorm. And once you passed away from the trees, you get 2 or 3 inches of snow instantly. Just stopped, snowfall. And let's just say we got 2 feet of snow that piled up out there in the high desert. You could go over to the snow. You could scrape away the snow, get down to the ground, and the ground would be bone dry. That is to say that the air was so dry, desert air, that it would suck the moisture out of the snow. So as it melted, it evaporated away. So that comes with humidity, right? Your air, your humidity, and your pressure, right? So reduced barometric pressure causes what? Evaporation. Increased barometric pressure causes clouds to precipitate. So if we went from a lot of snow, which is barometric pressure high, to no snow barely at all, just dusting, it's very low. So if they're doing anything to dry the ground out, it's screwing with barometric pressures, which also, folks, by the way, drives in storms and causes, right, high pressure to low pressure to high pressure. That's how they move the storms around. It's part of it. I'm not a weather expert. I'm not a meteorologist. I don't have a PhD or a bachelor's of science. I just looked at what the weather does. Very bad stuff, Charles, what they're doing and how they're manipulating the weather. And they use solar radiation, I'm sure, as a contributing factor to how they do things. So yeah, if they say Canada's burning in northern Michigan, I believe it. It just seems very odd after hundreds of years of those areas being sopping wet. Remember, folks, Minnesota is the land of 10,000 lakes. 10,000 lakes, right? That's where the Los Angeles Lakers, the basketball team, was originally in Minneapolis before they moved, right? The Lakers, the land of 10,000 lakes. That's a lot of water, a lot of rainfall, and that's the headwaters for the mighty Mississippi. Land of 10,000 lakes, Minnesota, Michigan. And now it's so dry it wants to burn in June, early June, no less. Thank you, Charles. Oh, man, let us move on if we shall. I know we've got quite a bit more to go. We got Name Redacted, one of my favorite names ever, contributing. He says, they already have cameras in your homes. Smartphones, tablets, laptops, webcams, Ring cameras, and similar products. Correct, 100%. A friend of mine has a computer that literally has the camera on the top of the monitor, and it pushes down so it cannot look out. A lot of them have a little slidey thing to slide over. Right? It's because people don't like the idea of a camera watching them. They don't feel safe. They don't. They don't want to be viewed. They don't want to be observed. Ooh, man is checking his now. I just saw him reach for his Gotcha, man. He just pulled the shade, you bastard. In fact, today, Ooh, man sent me a picture that a friend sent him of when they were young men and they were at a car show. And I was like, holy cow. And you can see the young Ooh, man in there. And when I look at pictures of myself, I keep getting told I'm looking more distinguished in my old age. I think that's a nice way of saying you're getting frickin' old, John. But yeah, when we're kids, we get this, you're a kid. You're young. Right? Your skin is smooth. You don't have health problems. But I think one of the benefits of becoming mature is you can see through the bullshit. You've been exposed to enough crap and lies. You understand everything. You understand it with experience. You're not just hearing it from someone else. You've gained that experience yourself. And I think by paying attention to what's going on out there, you and I, all of us, can use our experience in life to see what's going on and understand what's going on. We know who's doing it, right? We can tell. We don't have to lie to ourselves the way others do in order to believe things. This entire tranny movement should collapse upon itself with enough pressure. They're bringing the pressure on themselves because they're a bunch of fruitcakes. Additionally, they're begging us to accept them, which is putting our pressure back, which is no, go fuck yourselves, which they readily do, right? And they're a bunch of sick freaks. Look out. Look out. Here we go. Ooh, man, let's step up. Let's do some more, man. It's survival readiness. How you doing there, brother? He says, hey, saw a report that the United Nations was planning on going into Ukraine because of the damn incident to help out with humanitarian aid. Kind of reeks of a false flag to me, making an excuse to go in. Now, Russia said it's Ukrainian terrorists that have done this. Or no, wait, Ukraine said it was Russian terrorists. I'll tell you what. Who is the king of terrorism out there? Who is most apt, most equipped, most technologically advanced? Who has the most intel? Who has the most training at terrorism? Right? We did. I want you to recall back. Let's go back in the mental wayback machine to the, shall we say, the capture of evidence that Russia was a bunch of evil people, that they were exterminating and cremating Ukrainians because they found a set of teeth, some bones that were charred, and a dildo. Literally, they said these Ukrainians are being captured and sexually abused, and then they're being incinerated by the Russians. That was their idea of a false flag. Not really sophisticated. They're not really, folks, sophisticated terrorists. That would be the other countries who shall not be named here that are participating. The United Nations, folks, don't help people. There have been countless reports in numerous areas where the United Nations has gone in to help out. Claims that they have, folks, this is what the United Nations helpers are accused of. Thievery, human trafficking, prostitution, rape, drugs. Trafficking, drugs, trafficking humans, prostitution, rape, thievery, among many other complaints. Does Ukraine need that kind of help? I guess King Jackass Voldemort Zelensky thinks so. Understand, folks, who's telling the story and who benefits. Always important to know. All righty. Bam, right out the gate. Who do we go to next, man? Let's roll. And it's Chin Music. He says, John, got to go back to work. Sorry about that, dude. He says, the FBI has gone full rogue, according to Representative Luna. That would be, Representative out of Florida, Republican, I think Anna Paulina Luna. The informant they have is on the danger of being waxed. In other words, killed, assassinated. Option one, they are lying and don't want him available. And two, it's true. Either way, there is no option C. Thoughts, the agency is beyond repair. Yeah, it's funny that apparently there's a whistleblower that has real solid information about Joe Biden and his family. You bet they've got solid information that's real from a reliable source. And this person, they're afraid that if they release their name, that they'll be assassinated. Well, then why are you going to try and release the name, jackass? Why isn't there a security detail that can protect this person, whoever this person is, from assassination? Who would want to assassinate him? First of all, let's go through and erase the people who can't assassinate a whistleblower who is pointing the finger and has actual evidence, not just eyewitness testimony, but probably emails, papers, and other evidence. That is now handed over to the Department of Justice, the FBI. They've got the evidence now. The person is the conduit, the letter carrier, the mailman, if you will. The witness, the whistleblower, delivers the mail to the FBI and the Attorney General's office, the Department of Justice. They now have the information. The name of the whistleblower is irrelevant. If they have whistleblower status, then they are protected from retribution, and also they're supposed to be protected from government retribution, from government punishment, from government prosecution or persecution, if you will, and from criminal attempts at criminal prosecution, right? So, right, who would want to kill him? Well, obviously those who are damaged by the release of the information, AKA Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Dr. Jill Biden, the brother of Joe, and all other family members associated in their family cartel. So let us look at the most likely, most well-known suspects. How about the trans assassins? Do you think they have the skill, the knowledge, the inside intel to go find this person and assassinate him? No. How about BLM or Antifa? Do you think they can become assassins and sneak in and figure out who this person is and get past the witness protection? No. No. Who has the ability, the information, and the skill to do that? The government itself. What government agency is willing to commit an act of murder in order to, well, silence a whistleblower? What they need to understand is the whistleblower doesn't matter to their problem. The information has been delivered. The mailman delivered the mail. Killing the messenger is going to bring more attention to the fact that the Joe Biden cartel doesn't like the fact that someone is snitching on him. Yes, it will keep other whistleblowers from wanting to come forward. At the same time, they now have the information, and it needs to be released to the authorities. In fact, it needs to be released to the public. He'll get a fair trial the same way the January 6ers are getting a fair trial. What a jackass. What an absolute jackass these people are in government, in the FBI. Incompetent boobs. Oh, wait, partisan hacks. Absolute partisan hackitudes. All righty. Thank you, Chin Music. Enjoy work as much as you can. And be sure to stay after Representative Chip down there and make him listen to your opinion. Okay, man, I know we've got some more to get through real quick here. We got survival readiness. He says, Budweiser is down 26 billion. I want to see how far Target falls. Dads did our parts. Moms need to step up and boycott Target. In my area, they have. In my area, men, women, everybody are boycotting Target. A friend of mine went in there just to see what was going on. Store looked like a cavern. Good. Screw Target. Any company that's woke. Screw predatory practices. Screw them. Let them crash. Let them burn. If you're still investing in Budweiser, you get what you deserve. Is still investing in Target, you get what you deserve. Now, I'll tell you, the people who are buying Budweiser stock and the people who are buying Target stock are those who think this is going to pass and they're going to go right back up the charts. That's why they're buying it. You're trying to catch a falling knife. Well, it's a falling can of fruitcake beer, and it's a falling T-shirt of pro-Satanist crap coming out of Target and Kohl's and Adidas and Nike and every other woke piece of shit company. All right, man, thank you, Survival Readiness. Let's do some more real quick. Let's get through it. Doing stuff with Nikki. It says it's from the geoengineering spraying. It actually causes droughts. The clouds can't dump, then they drift away. Get so laden and super dump, i.e. the 1,000-year flood scenarios. It's one or the other, right? They're pushing it to extremes. You create extremely low barometric pressure It sucks the moisture out of the ground, out of the air. In fact, I used to watch this. I would sit out at my property and watch the clouds blow over the Sierra Nevada. They'd get into the high desert and they would evaporate. They would go from these big, massive black clouds to little white clouds to wisp, and they would literally disappear. They would just get pulled to pieces. That's what the low pressure does. It pulls them apart and destroys it, pulls the moisture out of the clouds and disperses it. And then the super dump is super high barometric pressure. All this pressure, just like a compressor. Well, this is mechanics. Compressing a refrigerant into a liquid. It goes to the evaporator. The evaporator, it evaporates. It gets low pressure. Poof. It evaporates. And like water, when it evaporates, it feels cool. That's your air conditioning. It makes a cool side and a hot side. And so high pressure means lots of rain. So they get one or the other. And they create these, well, climate extremes. And we're supposed to believe it's natural. And therefore, we need to change our lifestyles and pay more taxes to the government. Everything is give the government more power, give the government more money. That'll fix everything. Have they fixed a fucking thing? No, they haven't. They've caused nothing but SHTF, and I hope you are prepped because they're not going to stop. They can't be held accountable. They won't be held accountable. You think that you're going to get you and 1,000 buddies and go to Washington and fight these assholes? Before you even get started, they'll know who everyone is that's joining the little group, and they'll go arrest them or screw with them or intimidate them. Folks, what needs to happen, and is going to happen, is those northern cities, including Washington, D.C., are going to fall apart under the weight of their own ignorance, stupidity, and insanity. Let them have it. All right, let us go if we shall. Luman, what do you got? The last question for the day. We've got Survival Readiness. He says, breaking, the children's choir that was told, ordered, commanded to stop singing at the Capitol has just been invited to sing at Trump's upcoming rally in South Carolina. Survival Readiness says, that's my president. You bet. Folks, we all want to see a great leader rise. Right? What have we've had so many people come close and then fall short. I think what we need to do is continue to tell them we want our rights and our liberties first. That's important. Without it, we're doomed. Folks, chance favors the prepared mind, and you are prepared. Share this information. Share it up there, that information, that internet address. Hit the thumbs up if you're on YouTube. Hit the like thumbs up, and then the bell also. There's a little bell down there for notifications. And thank you, everyone, on the preparedmind.club and subscribestar.com for subscribing. $2 a month is 7 cents a day, and it's making a difference. We're glad to have you here. We got a lot of people contributing, a lot of people sharing, and we're fighting back. The fruitcakes are scared. The government is scared. The FBI is scared. The Bidens are scared. The United Nations, they're scared. In Ukraine, the government is scared of America waking up and fighting back. Justin Trudeau, leader of Canada, says it's frightening that all the people are boycotting Target and Kohl's and Budweiser because of the, well, they want to call it homophobia. We call it normal. They're the normophobes, folks. They're the fruitcakes. Understand that. Never forget it. Don't let them lie to you and convince you you're wrong when you know they are wrong. We have a constitution. We have rights. They're God-given. Check the Declaration of Independence and go check your pantry, your water storage, water filtration. Check your self-defense tools. Check everything. Make sure you're ready fully. Gas masks if you're around areas that have fire, right? Everything you need, folks, get it. It's my recommendation. Where you get it, it's up to you, right? What's important, though, is that you get prepared. Godspeed, Semper Fi.